Welcome to a course on sequence and series. In this lecture, we are going to see sandwich theorem and a related problem. Let us get into the theorem. In sandwich theorem, what we have is we basically assume we have two sequences which converge to a same limit. That is, an is some sequence which converges to L and Bn is also some sequence which converges to L. Right? This is the basic assumption that we have. Right? And for some positive integer n, right, what we are going to have, positive integer capital N, what we are going to have is that an less than or equals cn less than or equals bn, right, for some sequence cn. Okay, these are all our assumptions. Then we will have to prove the Cn also converges to L. So let me consolidate the hypothesis of the theorem. Here we have two sequences, namely An and Bn, which converge to a same limit L, right? And we have one more sequence. That sequence is satisfying certain inequality after a particular stage n. Then we will have to prove the Cn also converges to the same limit as An and Bn converge. Right? This is what we are going to prove in this theorem. From this theorem onwards, we are talking the sequences on the set of real numbers. Okay, and I think I don't need to even say about it because we are comparing the terms, which means this comparison is possible only in the real number system, right? And here, even though I am telling you people that we are talking real sequences, right? Okay, here An converges to L. This implies what? Absolute of An minus L is less than epsilon for n bigger than or equals n1. Let me mark this as equation 1. This Bn converges to L implies absolute of Bn minus L less than epsilon for n bigger than or equals n2. Let me mark this as 2. Right? So now let me take my capital N to be the maximum of n1 and n2. Hence, my equation 1 and 2 is valid for n bigger than or equals n also. Right? I am taking the maximum of these two quantities to be n. Therefore, if something is true after this stage, this is also true after this stage. That is what it means, right? And from 1, what can I write? I may write minus epsilon less than An minus L less than epsilon. This implies what? If I add L to all the sides, I will have L minus epsilon less than An less than L plus epsilon. Similarly, from equation 2, what am I going to get is that L minus epsilon less than Bn less than L plus epsilon. We have from the hypothesis that An less than or equals Cn less than or equals Bn. Now I am going to combine all the three together. So from the first one I am going to take this part, and from the second one I am going to take this part. So putting those two things in this, what am I going to get? L minus epsilon less than An less than or equals Cn less than or equals Bn, which is less than L plus epsilon. Now forget about An and Bn, just compare, just take the things with Cn. So this implies L minus epsilon less than Cn less than L plus epsilon. This is true for n bigger than or equals n, right? So this implies what? Absolute of Cn minus L less than epsilon for n bigger than or equals n. Hence, Cn converges to L. Okay. The proper statement of the theorem that you can see on the screen, right? Next, we are going to work out a problem to illustrate sandwich theorem. To illustrate sandwich theorem, we are going to see an example now. Here, in the sequence, An is defined in two cases, right? When your n value is smaller than 10 to the power 10 to the power 10 to the power 10, it is defined in the form of n to the power n to the power n to the power n, right? After that stage, your elements in the sequence are going to be this sum. Right? Here we are going to apply sandwich theorem to check the convergence of this sequence. Now let us get into it. Here in the sandwich theorem also, it is mandatory for us to choose a particular stage. After that we have to check some inequality, right? That stage is going to be this plus 1. Okay, so for n bigger than or equals 10 to the power 10 to the power 10 to the power 10 plus 1, we are going to talk. Okay, consider this term, that is 1 upon n square plus 1 plus 1 upon n square plus 2, and it goes till 1 upon n square plus n. Okay, here in the sum we have n terms, right? Among this n terms, which is larger and which is smaller? Here, first forget about the numerator and all these sums. Just look at the denominators, right? N square plus 1. Here n is a positive integer, that is a natural number, right? So you have n square as a common in all the terms. You add few terms to it, right? So this is the smallest quantity and this is the largest quantity when we compare only the denominators. Since this is the largest quantity, reciprocal of this term will be the smallest quantity, right? So your 1 upon n square plus j, I don't know what this is. Okay, I am going to compare this one with 1 upon n square plus n. Similarly, I am going to compare this one with 1 upon n square plus 1. Right? This is what I am doing. This is the smallest quantity, right? Compared to all terms in the summation. So since this is the smallest quantity, we will have this quantity is bigger than, right? And when we substitute j is equal to n, this will be equal. Okay, and similarly here what you are going to get? This is the largest among all these quantities. So here you will have this one, and when you give j is equal to 1, you will have equal. And this is true for j runs from 1 to n. When this inequality is true, take summation j runs from 1 to n, 1 upon n square plus 1 bigger than or equal summation j runs from 1 to n, 1 upon n square plus j bigger than or equal summation j runs from 1 to n, 1 upon n square plus n. Now I am just going to revert it. So this is what n times I am going to add this quantity. So I will have n upon n square plus n. Okay, this is what? This is my an, right? So I have an. And this is less than or equals, this is what? N times of n square plus 1. Since j is not involved in these two quantities, we have n times of the same term. That is why we have this one, right? Now, after a certain stage, we have this. Now we will have to examine the convergence of these two terms so that we can talk about the convergence of the sequence an, right? Consider n upon n square plus n. Okay, take limit n approaches infinity. What happens? That is, limit n approaches infinity, you can take n outside, so n gets cancelled and 1 upon n plus 1, right? So when you make your n approaches infinity, this approaches 0. And similarly here, your limit n approaches infinity, n upon n square plus 1, this is limit n approaches infinity, n times of n upon n, 1 upon n plus 1 upon n. Right, these two gets cancelled, and when you make your n approaches infinity, this is 1 upon infinity plus 1 upon infinity. So this quantity becomes 0. So 1 upon infinity plus 0 is infinity, and hence it is also 0. Right? Here you have identified this converges to 0 and this also converges to 0. So these two sequence converge to the same limit, and you have this inequality is true after a certain stage. Hence, by sandwich theorem, we can conclude your an converges to 0. right? If you are clear with the ideas, that is well and good. If you want to view few more problems on these topics, you may check our playlist problem solving and real analysis that is available in Tamil as well as in Hindi. Thank you for watching.